What's happening, hellraisers and harlots? Hey there, all my bad bitches and unproblematic niggas all up and down and around the internet. It is I, the one, the only, Kimber Shan. Don't call me Kim, ho. It's okay to be extra because I tell it like it is. And welcome to A Quickie with Kimber Shan. Let's just hop straight into today's episode and get into our pop culture segment called Facts, Foolery, and Fuck-Ups.
You uncultured swine!
So I received quite a bit of backlash about my opinions on the first episode, and I just have a couple of disclaimers to let y'all know. But we'll get there. Let's start with probably the most popular news story going on right now, which is the Titanic submersive tragedy. It is official that the U.S. Marshal has pronounced those 5 passengers dead. Rest in peace to those people. There's so many updates and so much information flowing around, and it's kind of hard to depict what's the truth and what's not. But I always like to go to the sources that make sense, such as CNN or like New York Times or like news networks. They usually know what the fuck is going on. The blogs can't say the same thing. People had presumed that they imploded versus running out of oxygen versus any of that stuff. The U.S. Navy actually said that they heard a sound that sounded like an implosion shortly after they disappeared. And this was on Sunday. So all the search and rescue and everything and the whole situation with the oxygen, that most likely did not happen, because if it imploded shortly after they disappeared, that means they were gone on Sunday. I think that they were waiting on possibly finding some proof, because they did find wreckage from it at the bottom of the ocean. But I just hate the fact that the CEO, and I'm going to blame him a lot, and he was on there, because 60 researchers told him that this was not a good idea. He made this thing, this submersive, and he didn't really do his due diligence. Like, he said he wanted to be known as an explorer and an inventor and an innovator, but you creating this thing that a lot of industry leaders and experts told him was deadly, and he went ahead and did it anyway, it's just kind of shaky in my opinion. But RIP to all of those people lost. And honestly, the only person that I really feel sorry for is the 19-year-old that was on board, because he was just following after his daddy. He told his aunt that he was terrified. He told his aunt that he didn't want to do it. He actually ended up going because his dad was so eager and gung-ho to get on this fucking failing ship. But I feel sorry for him because he was a teenager, you know, and he had so much life to live. And I just hate that he followed behind his raggedy ass daddy, and this is what happened. But that is the latest update on that. And once again, this is just another lesson in minding your motherfucking business. Okay, so the next thing I want to discuss today is the XXL freshman list. You know, the list that's released every year with all the hottest new rappers and things of that nature. I looked at the list, and I ain't even gonna lie, there's a lot of people on this list that I've never heard of, but I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, where these people's career goes or what they end up doing, or even just checking out some of these people's music. So I'm going to name to you guys all of the people that were on the list. So Tia Kareem, I'm familiar with her, the song from TikTok. Look at me, freaky, that song. Too Rare, Finesse 2 Times, heard of that person. DC the Don, Rob 49, Lil Tyler, heard of him. Friday, Glorilla, obviously everybody knows who Glorilla is. Lola Brooke, I had heard of her too. No, she has some good songs. Sleazy World Go, Real Boston Richie, Central C, Pierre Bourne. Of course, the first thing that everybody said when this list came out is, where's Ice Spice? Where is Ice Spice? Ice Spice is supposed to be on here. And that's what I said too. I was like, what about Ice Spice? But turns out that Ice Spice was not a part of it because her schedule is so busy, baby. She got things to do. She did not have time to partake in it, but she definitely was called to be a part of it because she had a great come up over the past year. Everybody knows who she is. She's on the cover of magazines. She's doing a lot of big shit. And just female rap in general right now is in a really good place, in my opinion, because I know when you talk about female rap, people get upset, okay? Like, battle lines are drawn when you talk about female rap. I feel like it's in a really good place because I love, seeing women prosper and win, and I support the majority of female rappers. Unless you do something or say something that's just fucking ignorant or hateful, that's the only way I could really get to the point where I don't like somebody. Like I said, I'm gonna stand by you if I like you, as long as you don't do anything to hurt anybody. And if you do some shit to hurt somebody, you should be held accountable. That's just the way I live my life, and that's just my truth, honestly. The next thing that I want to discuss is, do y'all remember a couple of months back them big ass red ugly ass boots that everybody was wearing? I have a theory about these boots, right? So you know how niggas talk about industry plants, like rappers and artists that were just paid to be placed there? I feel like this boot is a fashion plant because it's so ugly. I don't know why anybody would wear it. But the reason that I bring it up is that the same company that made those boots, Mischief or MSCHF, I don't know how it's pronounced, but they have now teamed up with Crocs for a collab. You got it coming, the big yellow boot. Same concept, it just has holes in it like a Croc. And it's big and it's yellow, and it was premiered at Fashion Week in Paris this week. A foreign rapper, I don't know what country he's from, but his name is Tommy Cash, and he had them on. It just shows that a collab is coming. So I would love to know, are y'all gonna wear those? Are y'all gonna wear the fashion plant that I find very hideous? But I'm not gonna hate on your style, but I just feel like with fashion sometimes people do things to see what people are willing to wear or what people are willing to pay, because the boots are $350, $400, but I just find them horrific. Other things going on today, lots of new music was released, and this is what I want to get into. Y'all motherfuckers that decided y'all had so many opinions about me supporting Gunna's album. And I just want to say, I'm not into street politics. I'm just a bitch that be telling y'all what the fuck going on. So far as street politics and loyalty and all the niggalations, I don't have shit to do with that. So I'm just here to tell you what's going on and what it is. So with that said, Thug has released his new album, and I have not heard it yet because it just dropped. It's Thursday night. So, all the music drops at midnight on Thursday. A lot of people are talking about it. It was #1 trending on Twitter, and so much speculation about beef. There's a video or a recording going around where he's allegedly talking about Gunna and their beef, but people are saying it's AI and it can't be real. Also, I'm very confused about how he can have a whole album recorded from jail. I'm assuming that it was stuff that was already recorded, but people are saying he's dissing Gunna. So I honestly don't know what the fuck is going on. But when I find out, I'll be sure to let y'all know. And I'm gonna check out the album this weekend, and y'all can check it out too and let me know how y'all feel about it. Somebody else that released music tonight, Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice, their highly anticipated song together. I think it's called Barbie World. Haven't listened to it yet, but I saw some visuals and it looked really cool. So I'm gonna check that out this weekend. Who else? A couple of other people released singles, no other albums. Oh, Coi Leray dropped an album. Haven't listened to that, but I might check it out this weekend. So that's what's going on in music right now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment called Let Me Tell You Something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Oh, let me tell you something, honey.
I just happened to be on, what app was I on? I was on Instagram. And I saw this post floating around, and it really made me think. So I'm going to read you guys the post. The post says, "It's sad how you really can't address things as adults. Misunderstandings, things that bother you or hurt you. We can't talk about it without cutting each other off, raising voices, disrespecting each other. We really losing family, friends, and relationships over communication skills. Everything labeled as tripping, checking someone, nagging, arguing back and forth, when really we just want to fix things so everything will be all good. For some reason, everybody wants to play tough. I absolutely hate this for my generation." This post got me thinking about just communication in general and how so many relationships or friendships or been fucked over because of bad communication. And I personally have had many issues with bad communication and people and relationships ending. And I just feel like as a whole, us adults should really invest in our communication skills. Like, I've lost friendships. I've, had rocky relationships with family member, definitely had lots of bad situations with relationships because of bad communication. And I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of knowledge about communication and things to work on. I'm a work in progress too, and obviously I'm not perfect, but like I said, communication really causes a lot of problems. Think about it. Nowadays, if somebody hurts you or says something that upsets you or does something you don't like, a lot of people react with pettiness. A lot of people react with, oh, you ain't gonna talk to me like you ain't gonna like. And honestly, if you're just saying how you feel, that should not be an issue. So I wanted to talk to you guys about communication styles and why everybody should work towards having the best one. The 4 communication styles are passive, passive-aggressive, aggressive, and assertive. And assertive is the best communication style because it is a space where we both people communicating have rights and needs. And if you're assertive communicator, that means you actually care about the person that you're talking to. You're honest, you're direct, you're confident, you're empathetic. Like, that's the best way to be. But a lot of people, and myself included, I've exhibited the other ones. I've been aggressive, especially when I'm provoked or pushed to the edge, baby. I'm aggressive. Passive aggressive, also very common. That's an example of like the silent treatment, or you say you don't have an issue with something, but you actually do. And passive is just not saying anything at all. And it's also, passive is probably the most fucked up, because it's like you don't have anything to say about your own rights or your own opinion or your own needs. So if you are a passive communicator, please take some steps to work on yourself and become more assertive. Now, passive aggressive probably is the one that pisses people off the most, because it's like you don't even know there's a problem or there's an issue. And then aggressive, that's the pettiness, the arguing, the disrespect. That's when things go towards fighting. It's literally when, to me, if somebody aggressively communicates with you, 9 times out of 10, it's because they don't respect your opinion or the relationship. So I feel like everybody, like I said, should move towards assertive communication. It was just something that was on my spirit that I was thinking about, times that I have had conflict with others. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a roommate previously in my past life, and we were very, very close at one point. We should call each other sister, like we really were close. But I went through a time in my life where I was going through a lot. I was making a lot of changes in my lifestyle, and she didn't really understand that I was making changes. She looked at it as a way of not disrespect, but she thought like I had a problem with her or something. So instead of us having a conversation about it, instead of direct communication, our entire dynamic became passive aggressive. It was like, okay, obviously she's upset or angry at me, but nothing was ever said. So, and I mean, I'm an Aquarius. I'm not going to force shit out of you. If you have an issue or a problem and you don't say shit, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to let that shit ride. And I'm going to just be like, well, this bitch mad. She ain't say shit. I'm going to just let that shit ride. No, that's not healthy. It's not right. But I just feel like if you don't say anything, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So this went on for quite some time, and it got so bad to the point that we actually completely stopped speaking, and she moved out. So, and I have not spoken to her since. And it's kind of sad that it ended like that, but it was literally a lapse in communication. Nothing big or terrible happened that destroyed us. It literally was just a lapse in communication. And I have countless things that have happened to me where either somebody else got mad at me about something and it wasn't expressed, or there was a big blow up. But it's like, if you hurt someone, it's okay for them to address it. And vice versa. If someone hurts you, it's okay for you to address it. And that is what assertive communication is all about. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I just feel like our generation has a really, really hard time communicating. And as adults, we should either educate ourselves or put into practice what we can do to do better with our communication. That's all I'm saying. Let's go ahead and move on to my next and last segment called Verse of the Day. And for Verse of the Day today, I just wanted to, give you guys a little insight, a little inspiration. And it kind of relates to what I said in Let Me Tell You Something About Your Communication. So for Verse of the Day, my quote is, "Don't tiptoe through life. Baby girl, make some noise." And it could be baby boy. It could be, they, them, whoever. But don't tiptoe through life. Like, not stir shit up, but make some noise. Do what you want to do. Speak up, speak out, be heard. Say what you want to say. Like, make your presence be known, because we only get one life. We only get one chance to do this shit. So don't go around tiptoeing and being scared to speak up or say things that you need to say, because again, if you don't communicate, shit can get fucked. Do you. If you want to try something, if you want to do something, give it a shot. It might work out. Tiptoeing through life is the worst thing you can do, because you'll look back and be full of so much regret. And I personally have had situations where I was scared to do something, or I didn't want to do something. So I took it upon myself to not do anything about it. And when you don't do anything about something, it eats you up inside even more than if you would have tried something and it would have failed. So I think everybody should make some motherfucking noise and live it up. That pretty much wraps up my show for today. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you that has given me feedback so far. Keep it up, subscribe, leave a review. I definitely will get back to you. Follow me at The Kimber Shan Show. Follow the podcast at A Quickie Pod. And we have lots more content coming to you next week. And happy Friday, everybody. You know, if you listen to this while you're on your way to work or something, happy Friday. And I love you all so much. Thank you for listening. And remember my 3 principles: love yourself, respect yourself, and accept yourself. Bye.